Hi, welcome to Biology classes with Lakshmi Chandra. In today's session, let us discuss on the concept of insertional inactivation. In the word itself it is there, something is getting inserted and so some other thing is getting inactivated. Let me make it more clear with this particular basic reaction. Okay, so insertional inactivation. Let us first understand the basic reaction. Here I have shown a gene. Okay, this gene is beta galactosidase gene. Beta galactosidase is an enzyme and this enzyme is produced by this gene. Okay, so this gene is producing the enzyme. I have just shown it like this. That is beta galactosidase enzyme it is producing. And this enzyme, when it reacts with a substrate called as X-gal. X-gal is a substrate, like we have agarose as a substrate in which bacterial cells are grown. Same way, this is a gel-like medium called as X-gal in which bacterial cells are grown. Okay, so here bacterial cells are growing here, but if this bacterial cells have got this particular gene, and if this gene is producing the enzyme beta galactosidase, this enzyme will react with X-gal. So this enzyme will react with X-gal and as a result it will show blue colored colonies. The bacteria will show blue colored colonies. So whichever bacterial cell is having this gene and this gene is functional, that means it is producing its product, this enzyme. In that case, this enzyme will react with this substrate, that is X-gal, and it will produce blue colored colonies. So in order to understand whether this gene is there or not, just look at the color. If there are blue colored colonies, we are sure that this enzyme is there. Okay. Now imagine I have a plasmid. Okay. Let me name it as PUC19. We have learned regarding PBr322 in the previous session. So let me take this as PUC19, another plasmid. Okay. This plasmid is having a region. This region is responsible for producing the enzyme beta galactosidase. Okay, and I am inserting this particular plasmid inside a bacterial cell and I am plating this bacterial cell in a medium X-gal. So naturally this gene will produce the enzyme and the enzyme will react with X-gal and I will get blue colored colonies. Now what I am going to do in biotechnology, using restriction enzyme, I'll cut this region, say with EcoR1 restriction enzyme, I'll cut this region and then I will insert my gene of interest here. So what did I do? I have inserted my gene of interest here. So what happened? This gene responsible for producing beta galactosidase got inactivated because I have cut this region and I have inserted my gene. So the already existing region got inactivated. That means this gene is now no more functional, which means it cannot produce the enzyme beta galactosidase. If it cannot produce the enzyme beta galactosidase, I will not get any blue colored colonies. So I'll get only white colored colonies. Okay, so what does that mean? Here in this X-gal, I am going to get only white colored colonies. That means I have a recombinant vector here. This is my recombinant vector. Recombinant means vector having another combination. What is the additional combination here? My gene of interest is here. So I have selected, because white colored colonies all will have a recombinant vector. If it is producing blue colored colonies, means my gene of interest is not there. That means here if it shows a blue color colonies, it is non-recombinant. Non-recombinant. It is a non-recombinant vector. Or what do I say, such a bacterial cell carrying a non-recombinant vector? I say the bacterial cell is non-transformed. Non-transformed cell it is, because it is producing blue colored colonies. So blue colored colonies are non-recombinant or non-transformed cells, whereas white colored colonies are recombinant vector, or I can say the bacterial cell is transformed cell. So this is how, using insertional inactivation with just differentiating the color, whether I am getting blue or white, I can distinguish whether the cell that I have is transformed or non-transformed. So this is one example of insertional inactivation with the help of a chromogenic substrate. This is X-gal here is acting as a chromogenic substrate. Chromogenic, that means it can change its color, and with the change in color, blue or white, I can understand whether the cell is transformed or non-transformed. It is blue, non-transformed. If it is white, very clear, it is transformed. Okay, so here I have told the concept of insertional inactivation by taking the example of a chromogenic substrate X-gal and taking this particular gene beta-galactosidase. Like this, you can take any gene, okay, find out its property and then insert your gene of interest, and if you find that the original property is not there, means we are sure that it has undergone insertional inactivation. Now let me connect it to our PBR 322 that we have learned in the previous session. Okay, PBR 322. There already I have told you that in PBR 322 there are two selectable marker genes, isn't it? In PBR 322 there are two selectable marker genes. One is a tetracycline resistant region and another one is ampicillin resistant region. And in tetracycline resistant region, as I have told you, it can be cut with the restriction enzyme BAMH1 or SAL1. And with that of ampicillin resistant region, we can do it with PVU1 or with PST1. Okay, now if you cut with any of these four restriction enzymes, say suppose with SAL1 you are cutting this tetracycline resistant region and you are inserting your gene of interest. What happened here? You have inserted your gene here. So what happened? This tetracycline resistance is now no more there. It became inactive. That means if you grow such a cell inside tetracycline medium, it will die. It doesn't have the property of resisting tetracycline. Or in the other case, if you have inserted your gene of interest here, suppose you have used PST1, instead of SAL1 you have used PST1, you have cut that region, you have inserted your gene of interest. Again, because you have inserted the ampicillin resistant region, that resistance is now no more there. That got inactivated. So these are all examples of insertional inactivation. In this particular case, in the case of PBR 322, you have to plate it in different antibiotic resistance medium. First you have to go for ampicillin, then tetracycline, likewise. So that's a cumbersome job. But with this X-gal, like this chromogenic substrate, very well with the help of the color change itself you can identify it. So it is preferred that chromogenic substrate is preferred over such things while you go for setting up insertional inactivation as a criteria for selecting recombinant cells from non-recombinant ones. So I hope the concept of insertion inactivation is very clear to you. Here in this session I told you PBR 322 regarding that only a very little bit, but in my previous two videos I have elaborately explained about PBR 322, cloning vectors, their features and all. So do find time to go through those videos, understand the concepts clearly. Feel free to ask your doubts. Take care. Thank you for now.